Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I am so glad you've stopped by. Today we are reviewing the Cafe Marc Jacobs Extra Shot Caffeine Concealer and Foundation. I was just originally going to review this as a concealer, but I figured at this step during my makeup routine, why not go ahead and use it as a foundation and test it out? So if you'd like to know what this is like, as well as the Cafe Marc Jacobs Omega Trio Bronzer, Blush, and Highlighter, if you'd like to see the shades that are inside, if you'd like to see it swatched and know more information about both of these products and my initial first impressions, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. So here we have the unit carton for the Cafe Marc Jacobs Extra Shot Caffeine Concealer and Foundation. That's a really long name. We're just gonna call it the Cafe Concealer. It's really pretty though. It looks like a latte got mixed up and it's a picture of the top of it. Then the back shows all of the ingredients and barcode. I got mine from Sephora and this is $39 and comes in 30 shades. And here we have the actual component. It's really pretty. So we've got a gold cap with a frosted glass bottle. Yes, definitely glass, and just shows Marc Jacobs Extra Shot on the front of it, and completely clear everywhere else. And what kind of applicator do we have? Oh, okay, so it's a hollow doe foot, and we have what seems like a lot of product being held in the center. So it looks like we're gonna have plenty of product access. Then here we have the unit carton for the Omega ×3 palette. Again, it looks like a latte, all mixed up. Then on the back, it's got a little bit of a description of the products and the ingredients at the bottom. Then if we open this one, the component itself also looks like espresso, or it looks like marble really, but that's super beautiful. I love that. Looks just like coffee, my kind of coffee with a lot of extra creamer. And this trio was $49. Like I said before, it's the blush, bronzer, and highlighter, and there's two different versions. This is in the color story Tantastic Glow, and it's the lighter version. Then the other one is Tantalize Glow, and it's a little bit of a deeper version. And there's the blush, bronzer, and highlighter swatched, so you can see them close up. They're all very subtle. None of them are really punchy. They look like really soft, buildable shades, so I'm excited to get into it. I did go ahead and prime my face off camera. I used the Milk Makeup Blur Stick, and I also thought that I had the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer still. I think I used the last of it, the last time I used the last of it. So I used my Tarte Base Tape Hydrating Primer. I feel like this is really close to the Marc Jacobs primer, just not coconut scented. But I just wanted to make sure that you knew what I put on beforehand so you knew what would pair with it. I also luckily have a travel size Marc Jacobs Finish Line Perfecting Coconut Setting Powder in translucent. So I'm gonna be using this to set my under eyes today. And depending on the end result of the shade that this foundation is, I'll either use my Urban Decay All Nighter Translucent or my Charlotte Tilbury Medium Setting Powder. Just remember that I got this concealer with the anticipation that I was gonna be using it as a concealer, so I got a lighter shade rather than a deeper shade. As long as you know that in advance and we're on the same page, let's get started. So I guess I'm just gonna start putting it everywhere. Start with my under eyes. I never ever use a foundation and concealer all in one, but I'm excited to see how it turns out. Now it shows on the Sephora website that this is supposed to be a full coverage product. It's supposed to give a natural finish to the skin, and it's also supposedly crease resistant. Plus it has caffeine, so it's supposed to visibly re-energize the skin. Does it look like my skin has more energy yet? It doesn't really smell like coffee or espresso, it just smells like makeup. Since it has no pump, I wasn't really keeping track of how much I just used. I think maybe I went in 8 times, 8 or 9 times, I don't remember. It was a lot, I know that. And you know, I just realized this is 0.54 fluid ounces. So that means this is an $80 foundation. If you think about it in perspective of other foundations, I guess that does sort of fall in line with Marc Jacobs pricing, but that's really expensive. I'd rather pay the $40 for a concealer and be satisfied with the fact that I'm getting a concealer rather than pay $80. So with that kind of pricing, I would probably stay away from it as a foundation because you're gonna spend a lot of money if this is your new favorite foundation. But I'm still gonna try it out for you guys, just so we can see what it looks like. I'm gonna blend this whole right side out with this brush, and then I'll go in with a sponge on the other side. It is definitely full coverage. The shade isn't really too far off. It's blending in really nicely. It looks pretty good, honestly. So that was it for brush side. Now let's try sponge side. I'm just gonna be using my beautiful Blue Beauty blender. I'm trying to get it wet still. Now let's start blending and see what happens. Now that both sides are completely blended out, there is definitely a difference, but it's not a lot. On the sponge side, it's just a little softer. It looks a little closer to probably a medium full rather than a full, and I can clearly see that the brush side is full. It's there all the way immediately after one pass. Granted, one pass with 8 applications, but still one pass. It's sitting on the skin really beautifully, and it's almost got this little bit of a glow to it. It's very, very skin-like. However, it's not set yet, so that could change very quickly. Now, before I move on, I am gonna build up the coverage just a little bit more on the under eye area on both sides, and I'm gonna go in on my beard with the brush on this side since the sponge can't get under my hair and really mix in the pigment. Then I'm gonna go over the brush side with the sponge to kind of even out the texture that might possibly show. Okay, so this is looking absolutely stunning right now, and let's see if the Marc Jacobs translucent powder is gonna ruin it. So I'm just gonna go with my little dew color under eye brush here, or pointed powder brush, and just apply some translucent powder right to my under eye. Blend out any creasing first. My left eye always creases. That made my under eyes look so smooth. Who is she? Okay, and now I'm gonna use the same brush. I'm gonna start to use the Charlotte Tilbury powder and see how it goes. It might be too deep for this foundation slash concealer, but let's see. Let's try it down here first. It is a little dark. Oh, it's a lot of dark. Okay, never mind. Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof it is, if I have enough left. Since I've got all the setting powder applied, it's now time to use the blush, bronzer, and highlighter. And I shall begin by using my Wet n Wild P70 powder brush. I think this is more targeted for like a blush brush, but it's wide enough and dense enough. I think it's gonna be great for bronzer. So I'm just gonna boop boop right into this and just start going in with it, I guess. Okay, I am getting some sliding going on, just a little bit, so obviously that foundation and primer combo didn't want to work together. The foundation concealer is water-based. What is the Tarte base tape? Yeah, and this primer is water-based as well, so I don't really know why that's not working beautifully. Maybe I put on too much Milk Makeup Blur Stick. This one is not water-based, so perhaps I'm getting the sliding because of that. That would make sense. However, usually when I'm using the Milk Makeup Blur Stick, I'm typically pressing it into my pores and then rubbing my hands around so that most of the time my pores are the only thing that has the blur stick in them. The surface layer of my skin doesn't. So I usually don't run into that, but I did kind of get a little overzealous with the blur stick today. So it could be the blur stick doing it. That's okay though, for now, because all that means is that I need to press on bronzer, blush, and highlighter instead of swiping on bronzer, blush, and highlighter. Now with this bronzer, I feel like as long as you are light to light medium, this would probably work for you, but if you are medium or any deeper than that, you'll probably need to get the other one, because this is a pretty light bronzer. Even on me, it's a pretty light bronzer. Even on me, like I'm any stretch of the imagination darker than light. Now I'm also going to take this little double-ended crayon case brush and I'm going to use the flat side in the bronzer as well. And I'm going to use this on my jawline and my nose. Then just gonna take a little bit right down my nose. This smells so good. All I smell is sweet coconut, and it's amazing. There we go. Just a little bit of definition, just to give me some shape to the bridge. Now I'm gonna flip the brush over and use, this brush is perfect for this palette, by the way, because it fits right in there. So happy I switched brushes. But now the blush, I'm gonna try. It looks like it's gonna fit this look perfectly. Here's for hoping though. Yeah, it builds up exactly like I thought it would. It's just a really soft, peachy, rosy pink with maybe even a slight kick of a coral. Oh yeah, it builds up really beautifully though. I just love when I can start a blush out super soft and get just a veil of color and then build it up to that pigment that I like. Then I'm gonna add just a little bit to the tip of my nose, then a little bit to the chin, really everywhere. Pretty much all the redness that I covered up with my foundation, I just need to add back to my skin. And I like to put a little bit of extra right on the bridge, make it look like I was outside in a little bit of some frigid weather and I just came back into the nice warm house. Now I'm gonna spray my face with the Benefit Professional Setting Spray. Then we're gonna go in with the highlighter. Face is set, now let's use the ColourPop F33 brush and go in to the highlighter. It looks very golden, very golden. I'm just really hoping that it's light enough so it doesn't leave one of those dark brown casts that a lot of gold highlighters leave. We're gonna find out though. Oh, I'm breaking out so much right there. It's such a shame that that's where highlighter goes because that's where my pimples want to go too. Ooh, but aside from the pimples and the gross texture they have, that highlighter is so beautiful. I just love going in with a highlighter right after a setting spray. It gives you so much clingability. Yes, that's the official word, clingability. And let's hit that Cupid's bow right above the brow bone a little bit. Just a little bit of a glow up there. Then right down the nose with my finger. I think I especially like it because it doesn't really blend out to be a gold. It blends out to be more of like a golden champagne, and I think that really works for the light to light medium skin tones. Anyway, that is it for now for the actual application of the Marc Jacobs Extra Shot Concealer / Foundation and the Marc Jacobs Omega ×3 Face Palette. So I am going to be doing a wear test for the foundation and concealer today. I mean, I guess also the powder products because I have them on, so I'm gonna be testing them while I'm wearing them, but they're powder products. I guess we'll get to see how the longevity is for the highlighter and the blush and the bronzer, if you wanna look at it that way. But either way, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here, live my life like I do, and then I'm gonna come back and check in with you guys for my final check-in to let you know how the foundation wore, how it lasted, if it transferred all over my everything, what it looks like in the end, and my recommendation. So I will see you guys in just a millisecond. We are now back for the final check-in, and by we, I mean me and sweet little Leaf here. Oh, Leaf. Oh, you're gonna let them know how the foundation was? Was it good? Huh? Do you approve? Oh, it's got the lick of approval from Leaf. Now, does it have the lick of approval from me? Quit licking me. So let me look at my face real quick, close up. Obviously, we're not gonna pay attention to what's missing off of my nose. Oh, there's nothing missing off my nose. That's blush. Just kidding. Mark and I went to the casino to gamble for a little while, and we have now hit the 8.5 hour mark. So it's been on for quite a long time. The mask obviously scratched off everything that was on my nose, and it started to scratch off what was on my cheeks. But luckily, I can still see down here and down here a little bit. And based on what I see currently, aside from this Essence mascara all flaking under my eye, the finish of the foundation on my skin is beautiful. It looks slightly glowy, but not oily, not wet, gross, kind of dewy, shiny. It's just pretty. However, my forehead creasing is very intense. Now I will say my forehead creasing has been more intense in general lately, Just my skin has not been very happy with me. But the foundation is definitely emphasizing that. But on my under eyes, and really this whole area where my mask didn't touch, and where I really set it down with translucent powder, it's gorgeous. It's perfect. It looks really nice. And on my smile lines, it's almost like it has plumped the skin around my smile lines so much, it didn't really bring them out at all. Or I just didn't smile very much while we were gone. That could have been it too. So, all in all, I would say, for a concealer, I love it. Tenfold. I love it a lot. Not only does it help with hydration, but it also just looks really pretty. Really, really pretty. So for 40 bucks for a ½ ounce that is a concealer, I would say definitely. However, I would not say to get this and use it as a foundation and a concealer. Not that you can't. I'm sure that if I would have baked with loose powder on my forehead, I wouldn't have the creasing that I have now because I don't have it on my under eyes, and I did bake my under eyes. So I know that it would hold up to it. For this to be $40 for a ½ ounce, we as a consumer should not let Marc Jacobs know that we're going to be using this as a foundation all the time, going through a ½ ounce at $40. That's essentially saying it's an $80 foundation if you're only using it for foundation. And I would rather make the statement with my purchases and use this concealer for like a really long time as just a concealer, and let Marc Jacobs know that I would rather have a foundation that's a full ounce in a separate bottle, so I don't have to use one product for two and pay extra money for it. You know what I mean? That's just me. But as a concealer, definitely, I love it. I'm just not going to continue to use it as a foundation for the sake of cost. And then the Omega x3 face palette. For this being $50 for 3 shades, I think that's a little pricey. But if you don't own any Marc Jacobs face products and you want to try them, I think this is perfect for that. Pay 50 bucks one time, get yourself a blush, bronzer, and a highlighter so that you can try out the formula, see if you like it. If not, return it. Worst case, if you do love it, you're only out 50 bucks for 3 separate products. Now, I do already have the Tantric bronzer, or Tantastic, I don't remember what it's called, but I do already have that bronzer, and that is the bronzer that's in this palette. So technically, I paid $50 for 2 of the products, but it's really nice having it all in one because I'll be able to take this with me whenever I go somewhere, and if I ever go somewhere, and I can use it on the go and not have to carry one bronzer the size of this. And I really like that, and that's why I was okay with spending the $50 on getting it, because I knew I liked the face products. And that truth still stands for these face products. So I would definitely say, if you haven't tried anything, for sure worth it for the $50 price. If you have tried the face products and you have some already, if you want something to travel with, then yes, go ahead. If you don't want something to travel with, then I feel like for a blush and a highlighter, 50 bucks is a little much. But that's just my opinion. Of course, I want to know what you guys think down in the comments. Please let me know. Have you tried this concealer / foundation yet? Do you like it? Do you share my thoughts about the pricing and the amount of product that you get? Are you just like, whatever, I'm gonna do whatever I want and use it for foundation and a concealer? Let me know in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this video, it would mean the world to me if you wanted to give us a thumbs up just to let us know that you did. It does let us know how much you love our content and how much you want us to upload more and more videos. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye. Quit licking me.